So we've got in the Wild One skeleton in 42 millimeters and the 39 millimeters that was just released at Watches and Wonders this year. In this video, we're going to talk about what's good, what's bad, are these overpriced, and who are these for? Everything you need to know, and a bit of stuff you don't. So if this is a model that you don't know much about, let me hit you with some rapid fire cool things. For one, proprietary case material called NORQAIN, which is a super shock resistant carbon fiber composite. Number 2, designed in collaboration with Jean-Claude Biver, and you can definitely see the Biver influence. 3, shock absorbing case construction, engineered to absorb impacts up to 5,000 G. Insanely capable, also with 200 meters of water resistance, which is unnecessary and great. 4, COSC certified movement, that is the base caliber Sellita SW200-1. And 5, it's just fun and cool and it makes me happy. Let's talk about the specifications. Starting with the 42 millimeter variation, these have a case diameter of, well, 42 millimeters, a thickness of 12.3 millimeters, and a lug-to-lug of 49.4 millimeters. At first, this sounds like a reasonably small wrist-friendly lug-to-lug, but with the integrated nature of the rubber strap, it does protrude enough to make it notable. So here it is on my 5.5-inch wrist versus my husband's 7-inch wrist. I want to say it is a bit oversized on me, but I think it is fair to say I am sized out. But this looks perfectly at home. It looks just right on a 7-inch wrist. I think this is exactly how it is meant to wear. Now, one of the dimensions I was concerned about, just looking at the numbers, was the thickness. 12.3 millimeters thick, which is due to the rubber shock absorber and titanium container, but we will talk more on that later. For now, on wrist, it doesn't feel disgustingly thick and can support this thickness. It feels sporty and cool. It feels like something a cool tennis player would wear. This year at Watches and Wonders, NORQAIN introduced the 39 millimeters, and that's what brought me in.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
And this is exactly the kind of watch I've been looking for. Something cool and fun and different, but packs a punch in the specifications department. So here's the 39 millimeters on my wrist versus my husband's wrist. This wears exactly how I wanted it to. I really like it on my wrist. It's oversized, but in a good way, almost like a G-Shock if a G-Shock was made in the most premium way possible. I'd recommend the 39 millimeter for anyone with a 6.5-inch wrist and smaller, and the 42 millimeter for a 6.5-inch wrist and larger. So the case size and dimensions are the only things that are different. Everything else, functionally, spec-wise, everything else is the same. So 200 meters of water resistance, open work movement, showing exactly what's going on. But for me, the big exciting thing is the case material and shock absorber construction. They have created a proprietary material. So NORQAIN is a carbon fiber composite, which is incredibly light. 6 times lighter than steel, 3.5 times lighter than titanium, and has a unique ability to hold color, almost giving a marble effect. I have to say, these are notably light. It's easy to almost forget this is on wrist. Very enjoyable to wear. This is a shock absorber, which comes with its own unique quirks. So the case construction begins with a titanium container, then a rubber shock absorber with the outer NORQAIN case. This is designed to withstand up to 5,000 Gs. Is it practical or necessary for most people? No. But is it an exciting bit of engineering? Yes. Okay, let's talk about the movement now. I think this is an area where some people might raise their eyebrows. So here's everything you need to know. This is powered by the NORQAIN caliber 908S, which is the base Sellita SW200-1, and it is the COSC caliber, so the premium Sellita skeletonized. Interestingly, the not skeletonized Wild One is powered by Kinesi caliber, so Tudor's movement manufacturing facilities, but the open work one is not. I believe it is just a matter of Sellita already makes an open work movement, so it's an easy choice. This caliber offers 41 hours of power reserve, beats at 4 Hz, and has a chronometer certification which allows for tolerances of -4 + 6 seconds per day. Spec-wise, these are fantastic. You really can't argue with these. But let's talk about the design. because this is an area where you can argue with these, and I'm sure people will in the comments. I mean, I am sure your eyeballs can already tell. These will not be to everyone's tastes and sensibilities. They are loud, illegible, on a rubber strap. I don't think everyone will like these, but that's also what's so fantastic about them. If the Tudor Black Bay 58 is Coldplay, the Wild One is Doechii. And they're both great. You're allowed to like both of them. You're allowed to have both of them in your iTunes and like them for different reasons. I think all the design faults I can possibly find also serve as the greatest virtues. It's loud and weird, but that's what I like about it. It's illegible, but open work dials often are. And does every watch need to be stark and simple and black and white? These don't look serious, but they are. I feel like the real greatest fault of these is that they don't focus on the areas that watch geeks usually care about the most, but I personally find the most exciting. Like, watch geeks usually want to hear about the movement, chamfering on the case, and micro adjustment on the clasp. And I care about those things too. I get really excited about those things too. But these watches have a lot of things that will be written off way too quickly by the watch enthusiast crowd. Like, creating proprietary materials is ambitious and underappreciated. I feel like shock absorbers and the unique construction behind them is also underappreciated. If you are going to get excited about a diver that goes 1,000 meters, even though, most people don't practically need that, I don't understand how the same logic can't be still excited about a shock absorber or some of the things people hold against shock absorbers when it's actually so cool. This also leads us nicely to the price. The 42 millimeters retails for £4,750, and the 39 millimeters for £4,650, so £100 cheaper. Except this mint one, this is also £4,750 because it is a limited edition. Okay, with the price, this is where it starts getting tough, and this is where worth and value are different for different people. Given the sermon I just gave about shock absorbers and comparing to the Black Bay 58, I think these are fairly priced. I don't think it's the deal of a lifetime. I don't think, oh my goodness, how is it this cheap? But I don't think it's unfairly priced. But I also understand this is an area where people are going to feel very strongly, and I get it. Once we enter about £5,000 on a watch, $6,000 USD, this is serious money. These are becoming really big considerations for people. I think this is either for someone who wants a loud and fun, out there watch that is still incredibly sporty and different, or someone who is absurdly rich and wants the most premium, fancy G-Shock-esque thing. Like, I know the price is at that cutting point. I totally get it. It's a price that hurts, and it's a considered purchase. It's something that's kept me away from buying it because that's a huge chunk of money for me. But I can't say it's poorly priced. I wish it was cheaper because I'm cheap, but I can see how they priced it the way they did. I feel like this is a love letter to truly Swiss watches in the future. I know it won't be for everyone. I think they know it won't be for everyone, but there is a specific crowd that likes this stuff, and I'm very much a part of that crowd. Now, if you're sat at home wondering, NORQAIN, who the heck are they? Don't worry, I have prepared an exhaustive slideshow presentation that you're going to sit through right now. This is an incredibly young brand, founded in 2018 by the Holy Trinity, what I like to think of as the Holy Trinity of Swiss coolness. Let's start with this person. I like to think of him as the face of the brand. This is Ben Kuffer, not sure, but he lives and breathes the DNA of the brand. Sporty, adventurous, incredibly charismatic. Next, this is Ted Schneider. He doesn't seem to like the spotlight as much. It's harder to find photos of him. But he is Theodore Schneider's son. So Theodore Schneider is his dad, and he was the former owner of Breitling. So yeah, he kind of understands the watch industry. And last, the final boss, and possibly the coolest person in Switzerland, this man. This is Mark Streit, arguably the best Swiss ice hockey player of all time, which is important, but even more importantly, he played for the Philadelphia Flyers. Unarguably, just a basic fact, the greatest hockey team of all time. The Philadelphia Flyers were the first ever NHL expansion team, so not one of the original 6 teams, to win the Stanley Cup. And they did this by inventing a whole new style of play, earning themselves the nickname the Broad Street Bullies. This is Mark Streit hoisting the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, as a Pittsburgh Penguin, but yeah, what I'm trying to get at, this is Mark Streit. He is the 3rd founder of NORQAIN. He is a Stanley Cup winner. And he's a swingman. Do you know how rare it is to find swingmen? But for the purposes of this video, he is the 3rd founder. These 3 bring a really healthy mix of industry knowledge, charisma, and actually living a sporty, adventurous lifestyle. NORQAIN is incredibly Swiss, incredibly ambitious, and very quickly becoming a serious industry player. My final verdict is, going back to the watches, I really like these. I would buy one. This is exactly what I'm in the market for, and I know these won't be to everyone's tastes. I said it before, the NORQAIN Wild One is a Doechii song. It's not a Coldplay song or a Ed Sheeran song or whatever. And I like that. I think there's room for both in everyone's collection, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. I think these are incredibly fun while also being a serious bit of kit, which isn't an easy balance to strike. I like these, and I'll see what you guys think in the comments down below. Pope tier patrons, did you know that Pope tier patrons, did you know that they're the greatest? Let's put their names on the screen right now. Hi, anyone who's made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. This one was a little bit different for me. I wanted to do something fun, different out there, but you know, this isn't about me. This is about the names that are on the screen right now. These are the Pope tier patrons. They support my weird little channel. They keep this channel going. It really, I think people just think I'm saying that, but it really does keep this channel going and financially viable for myself. Thank you so much. I hope you keep enjoying the work that we do here. You guys are awesome.